Does it look like I'm wearing a muumuu? Well, I'm not, but if I was, who cares? Got this at Target on clearance. Hey guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm gonna share with you if my feelings have changed towards a certain product. I had this idea the other day and I shared it with you guys on Snapchat, and a lot of you guys were like, yes, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna be kind of trying on today in front of the camera the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, the classic, like cult classic foundation. I tried this years and years ago when I first started my channel, and I really didn't like it. Now, a little bit about me, I've got typically dry skin, and so because of that, this is a very full coverage foundation, can tend to be drying, and I think that's why I didn't like it. So I'm excited to try it again. The shade I'm wearing is 1N2, which is Ecru. I'm not 100% sure that it's a perfect match. I mean, obviously this is little, so we'll see. We're gonna try it anyway. I actually got this for free from Octoly, which is just a review site. And so I'm just interested to see, have my feelings changed. So I'm gonna be trying some different things. What I've been doing with more drying foundations is I'll put on some kind of an oil on my face. And so I like the Farsali Rose Gold Elixir. I don't think you need to spend this kind of money, however. It is really nice, and they do have a smaller size if you were dying to try it where it's cheaper. I do think it's really nice. The Smashbox Primer Oil I think is a bit cheaper, and I feel like it has the same effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the primer oil just because I think I still don't think it's like affordable, but it's cheaper than the Farsali. So what I've been doing is putting this on my face and then putting a moisturizer on. I tried it the other way the other day, and I need to like pull my hair back. I tried it the other way the other day, and it was absolutely horrendous. I put on the moisturizer first, then the oil. No, it did not work. I already have some lip balm on if you're like curious. Yeah, that's holding my hair back. Anyway, and it's the Kopari Lip Love I've been talking about a lot. Highly, highly recommend. One of the best lip balms I've ever used in my entire life. Oh my gosh, it like healed my lips. I'll link this below. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna start with the primer oil. You just kind of get it up into, you push the top. It's kind of fun packaging. I feel like a pharmacist. I don't think pharmacists do that, I don't know. Anyway, some people kind of dot it on their face, so we can try it that way. I usually just put it on my fingers, but this is a little bit of a cleaner method. Now this morning I'd already put on like some skincare, you know, like a serum. I didn't put on a moisturizer yet. So I would say like when you first wake up before you do this, like this is not really a serum where it's packed full of amazing skincare ingredients, but it is a nice oil that really preps your skin, especially if it's dry. Now, if you have like oily skin, I don't think you need this step, only because I'm doing it to prevent this foundation from looking incredibly dry. So I'm gonna let that sit on my face just for a bit. It's kind of funny because it's called a primer oil because it does pack a lot of oily moisture. Is that oily? That sounded weird, oily moisture. Anyway, but it sinks in really quickly. If you notice, like it's pretty much sunk in already. It's still early. I'm only halfway through my coffee. Give me a break, guys. Now that that's done, I better shut it because I will spill this everywhere. I'm gonna put on my favorite moisturizer of the moment for before makeup application. That is the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors plus HA, which is hyaluronic acid. I just really like this stuff, really inexpensive. Again, all of these will be linked below. And it's just a, you know, standard moisturizer. I'm gonna put on, again, a little bit more than I do if I'm putting on like a BB cream because that itself is super moisturizing, but I'm just trying to extra moisturize my face. I like doing this all the time anyway. I mean, just because I like my face to have that fresh glow underneath, and I feel like the oils have really been giving me that the past month, and it's just like, I feel like I'm late to the primer oil kind of train, but I'm really surprised at how nice it makes my skin look. And I think you'd be surprised too. Just give it a try, because I kind of was like, no, I just want to use regular primers, but I was really surprised. So what that means is I'm not going to be using another primer. Now I could totally at this juncture put on another primer, but I really just want to see how does this foundation look like this, because on a normal day I would kind of treat these together as my primer. If you have enlarged pores, you might want to put something like, especially here, some kind of pore filling one. The NYX pore filler is pretty good for that. I want to say that's inexpensive, but I feel like their primers now are like freaking $15, so I'm like, I don't know, but I'll link it below. It's still a really good one, and it's cheap compared to other ones, but I don't know. I'm gonna do half my face with my favorite blender, the L'Oreal Infallible one. And I wet it, but then I like literally wring it between a clean washcloth because I want it to be moist, but I don't want it to be too moist. You know, that can really shear out. The other side I'm gonna do with my Clarisonic foundation brush. I've only been using this for a little while now, and I laugh, I can't use it on my nose because you turn it on and you put it on your nose. No, and it tickles so much. I don't know how anyone does it. I was laughing so hard, I thought, well, maybe I'll just turn it off and do it, and that was a little bit better. But it literally, I bet I can make myself sneeze. Just watch. Here it comes. It's amazing. I thought, man, if I ever like need to sneeze, I'm just gonna go grab this, turn it on, and just let it rip on my nose. It just tickles so much, so I can't handle it. My nose is really sensitive. So if you have a sensitive nose, I'm gonna sneeze again. You can't use it on your nose when it's on. It's hilarious. I don't know why it makes me laugh so much, but it just does. Okay, so, but I am gonna use that on half of my face, and I'll use this, and then I might turn it off for this side of my nose. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So I feel like my skin is very moisturized. I do have a couple breakouts to cover, so I'm just curious how this will work. And I even have one here and like an old one there. So we'll see. We'll see if it covers. So it does not have a pump. I know that you can buy like MAC pumps fit this. And when I first had it, I think either you guys sent one to me or I bought one, a MAC pump, and it did fit, but then I got rid of it because I didn't like it. So that was a waste of money. Anyway, so I hate, Jessica, come on, now the bottle's already dirty. All right, let's see. We'll do this side first. Yeah, I think it is a little dark for me. It might work. We're just gonna see. To be honest, in real life, I usually like pour this onto my, this might be too much, I don't know. I gotta sneeze again, hold on. Why did I do that to myself? All right, so on this side, I'm gonna use the brush. I'm so curious how it looks. I'm just hoping that my dry skin does not pop through, so. This is, I thought I wouldn't like this, to be quite candid with you. It's funny because I went and bought the foundation brush head during the Sephora VIB sale, and then I literally got a PR package from them in the mail before I even got the Sephora. So this holder is actually from the PR package, but I had bought the foundation brush head. So anyway, I'm just so curious because I know a lot of YouTubers just ask, oh, why did I do it? Let me turn it off and do my nose. I don't know. So what I'm noticing is, I mean, it's definitely more perfected. There's no doubt about that. That compared to that. It actually is a decent color for me. Good job. I think it's a little darker, but you can still see some moisture in my skin, which I appreciate. Don't you feel like you can still see a little glow? Which I did not feel like that was the case before. So I wonder if it's just the way I applied it. Do I think it's completely flawless? Maybe. Let's try the other side with the blender. I have a feeling using a sponge usually kind of shears it out a little bit more. So this time I am just doing it on my hand. I'm just gonna dot it on. It usually does, it depends. This sponge though, the reason I like it is because I don't feel like it shears it out as much. I feel like there's almost like a shield on this bottom and like it doesn't soak up a ton of product, which is why I like it. Ooh, look, okay. Did you guys see? It covered those pretty well. I can still see a little redness, but not a lot. That was pretty amazing, actually. Not every foundation does that, that's for sure. Come back to my nose. So, again, I really feel like I can still see the glow in my skin, and it's really surprising me. I think it's the combination of that primer oil, but that's gonna have to be the key for you if you have dry skin and you either already own it or you're really wanting to splurge and get a really nice foundation that's got really nice coverage. Yeah, this is a little dark for me. The ring light kind of washes it out, but in real life, like looking at it, I probably could have gone a shade lighter, but the reality is I might be between shades, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I remember, I think the shade I originally had a long time ago was the one just below this, and it was like too light, so maybe I'd rather have this than, I don't know. I could always lighten it with another foundation. So I kind of just blended my nose because I don't think the brush did a great job since I couldn't have it on. So verdict is, let me just see here. I'm kind of amazed. I was ready to not like this. I feel like there's a little, like, I just have texture here. Part of it is like kind of, you know, pre-wrinkles. Part of it is just like I have like a, kind of like a freckle, like a razor, kind of like a mole, but it's not a mole, you know what I mean? So I've always had weirdness here, and I can definitely still see that. So I don't think this is like perfect. But to be honest with you, I feel like the only way you could make this work with dry skin is to have that kind of a base underneath it. You know, I've still got a little dryness near these things, and you can still see a little bit of redness. You could always cover it with concealer. I've not ever really found a foundation other than really thick foundations that will cover that kind of stuff at one pass. So I could always layer more on to it. Actually, yeah, that actually did cover it pretty well. So you could layer more onto it. But I have like a little bit of peeling skin on this breakout, and you can see that, duh, it's peeling skin. I don't know. Really, I mean, this is a PR product, so I'm always honest with you guys, and I don't ever want you to feel like, oh, well, this time she got it in PR, so she, well, it's not really PR, I guess, it's actually review, but it might as well be PR. So I never want you guys to feel like, oh, well, last time she paid for it and she didn't like it, and this time she got it for PR and she did like it. I'm always trying to be honest and clear with you guys. This is something that I think, had I run out of it, I would buy it again. Because you know what? This doesn't have SPF. I'm double checking. So it's gonna look amazing in flash photography. It covers really well, but let me compare it to something that I used to wear for like special events. Hold on. So in my YouTube career, I've only gone to a couple of events. And when I have, I've always worn my Hourglass Vanish stick. It's got great coverage, but here's the deal. This can look really dry, and that's why I don't wear it every day in real life. It can look really flawless, but the difference is this might now replace that, because as I look at it, it looks just as flawless, but it looks like my skin is just healthy. It doesn't look like it's plastered on, which again, I think is more attributed to the steps I took before I put it on, not necessarily the foundation on its own. The other day I put on this foundation on its own just to preliminarily try it, and I kind of realized that, you know, it definitely has high coverage, but it just doesn't make my skin look healthy. So I think that's, I've changed my mind on it, and I'm excited now I do want to get a pump so it's just easier to use, but I'm excited that I tried it again, because this is one of those things that so many people love, makeup artists love too, and I'm like, why? But they were probably doing those really moisturizing steps before it so that it looks nice throughout the day. So I'm gonna do some check-ins throughout the day so you can see how it wears. I'm gonna film a couple more videos, get some stuff done around the house. It's kind of a rainy day, and I think we're staying in, which is my favorite kind of a day. But I will check in throughout the day, and we'll see how it looks at the end of the night as well, so you can see how does it wear throughout the day, because that's the other thing. It can look great when you first apply it, but if it looks terrible 4 hours into your work day, then who cares, because it looks terrible now. Okay, it is 2:09 p.m. and I'm checking in. Let's see. So you can see really clearly now like that bit of texture, but it's probably been on for over 4 hours now. You can already see the redness back through on those breakouts. So I feel like if you really had acne or anything that you really wanted to cover up, you'd probably need something beyond just the foundation. You'd need concealer cover up and then like a setting powder on top of it to really keep it in place. I think this wore off because I was eating, and so I wiped my mouth and it's right by it. But like this, there's not really an excuse for why it wore off. So I think it's just the foundation has good coverage, but if it's like truly a red mark, then you're gonna need like concealer and stuff. But otherwise, I feel like I've been filming, then we went down, we made lunch, we ate it. I've been playing with puppies and rubbing my face all in their cute fur. And I feel like it's held up pretty darn well. I do think it is a little bit darker than my skin tone, really. Like you can kind of clearly see it here. I might exchange it, I don't know. I don't think it's enough that it really bothers me, especially like it's winter, so this is the palest I am, but the other half of the year, I don't know, we'll see. So, but so far wear-wise, I think it's doing a good job. Even on my nose is usually super red by now, and this is looking pretty nice. We'll check in again in a little while. All right, it is 9:52. I'm about to wash my makeup off, and I do feel like a little of my oil. I got glittery eyeshadow accidentally on my forehead from a swatch, so that's what that is. But you can see a little bit of my natural oil breaking through, just a little bit. I ate and I've wiped off lipstick and stuff, so that's why it looks weirder on my lips. But I think it did okay. You can start to see a little bit of redness on my nose, so it is breaking down a bit. But like looking from here, especially like in real life, like I'm looking in a mirror, it actually looks really nice. A lot nicer than it does on camera. But, I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it is long wearing. So I was impressed with that and how really it didn't end up looking as dry as I thought it would throughout the day. I don't think it's perfect, but not terrible. In the end, I don't remember the exact time. Oh, I've got doggies running in here. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so it wasn't perfect for as long as it was on, but I think it was pretty good. I think if I started doing like pore filling primers, it might hold on to more, but then it might also look dry. Okay, I gotta go and play with some dogs. But if you did enjoy, I hope that you'll subscribe before you guys leave, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.